Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. If you are new, then hi, I'm Grace and I'm a second year BSc microbiology student at the University of Leeds. So in today's video I'm going to be talking about my Porterhouse Medical placement application experience. So please make sure to give this video a big thumbs up if you do enjoy it and subscribe down below. But without further ado, let's get straight into the video. So this is my final video on my placement application experiences. I did want to quickly mention that I did apply for some other roles. I applied for a few sort of as backup roles. So one of them I applied for was sort of a more HR, PR role with Northern Rail. So that was quite out there as well. I also applied to Sanctuary Graduates. That was just sort of more an admin intern type of role. So I sent a CV off to there and I did get an email back from them saying that they wanted to do a phone interview with me, but obviously by that point I'd got my internship with McCann Health, so I said no. Sorry, I've already got an internship, or a placement rather. And then in terms of Northern Rail, I attended an assessment day, which was actually really fun. It was one of those assessment days where we were put in breakout groups and we had to do sort of fun sort of team building activities, like you're on a desert island, what items would you choose out of a list of 12, and 2 truths, 1 lie, another sort of, you know, team building icebreaker activity like that, where they can assess how well you work in a team and things like that. So that was literally on the same day that I got the phone call from McCann Health. So I did that in, I can't remember, I think it was the morning I had that assessment day, and then about 4 or 5 in the evening on that day I got the call from McCann Health. So I didn't really have to attend that obviously in the end, but it was actually a really fun experience, so I'm glad that I did that. I applied for a communications type role with McCann Manchester, so they're more of like an advertising agency and more marketing rather than they're not like sciencey or anything like that. But anyway, I'm going to stop waffling on and start talking about Porterhouse Medical. So the way that I found out about this role was actually by being proactive, and this is definitely a top tip of mine. So back when I was really interested in medical writing, I went onto LinkedIn, I literally typed in medical writer and it popped up with lots of people who are medical writers in the UK, and I connected with lots of them and sent them a message asking if their company did placements of any type. And one of them, Synergy Medical, someone got back in touch with me and I ended up having a call with one of their HR team just about like what I expected from a placement and how that would help and things like that. And unfortunately they said that they couldn't accommodate a placement, but they would definitely look forward to if I wanted to apply in the future for a graduate role, for example. I also had other messages back from a few other people who were either saying that unfortunately their companies didn't do placements or that they could look into it, and some people were so nice, they said that they'd speak to people at work and they'd ask and they'd try and get some information for me, which was really, really positive. And then one of them was Porterhouse Medical. So they sent me an email for who to get in touch with, so I sent my CV over to that email address and to that person. So I then got an email back saying that they would be happy to look into sort of restarting their placement experience. So I presume that they've done sort of placements in the past, and then would be happy to sort of restart it. So there was nothing particularly formal about this. I don't know whether they advertised it anywhere. So this was purely a proactive approach. So if you are looking for a placement or a job, I definitely recommend messaging people, trying to connect with many people as you can. I think LinkedIn is a great way to do it. So I'd highly recommend doing that. The next step was 2 tests. So they sent me an account management test and a medical writing test. So for the account management test, it was similar to sort of the other tests that I'd done previously with the other companies. It was constructing emails, so seeing how I would format emails for different scenarios. So I remember one of them was like this person who's going to be presenting has sent you too many slides and they've only got a 20-minute space in the presentation kind of thing. So how would you email back to say that they need to cut it down and things like that? And then there was one which was picking out the grammar and spelling mistakes again. There was one that asked, how do you think medical communications are going to change in the future, or something to do with sort of the digital world and things like that. So yeah, that test's absolutely fine. And then the medical writing test, I had to write a briefing document based on a case study. So they sent me 4 or 5 different information things based on Zika virus. So one was like a BBC News article, one was some information on a pharmaceutical company and how they go about being safe regarding the virus. Because the briefing document I had to write was for a person who'd recently started at Pharma X and wanted to see how the company protected against the transmission when they're researching this virus. So they gave me a variety of sources. I was only allowed to use those sources, and I had to write a document about Zika virus and how the pharmaceutical company were being safe regarding it as well. So that was absolutely fine as well. I was really lucky that my mum's best friend actually works in health communications, and so she was able to sort of give me some tips and ideas and constructive feedback for the test which I had done, which is really, really helpful. After I'd sent across my tests, I then got an email back saying that they would like to interview me. Unfortunately, by this point, I had already accepted my McCann Health internship placement. So I think it was a couple of weeks after they actually emailed me back. So there was quite a gap between the different stages of the thing. So I sent across the tests. They sent me an email back saying they'd be in touch in a few weeks' time. And by the time they did get back in touch, I'd already accepted my placement at McCann Health. So obviously I said to them that unfortunately I'd already accepted a placement. But if I had done the interview, she said that it would have involved a 1-hour medical writing test and then obviously the actual interview. So I can't say how that went because I obviously didn't attend or couldn't attend as I'd already accepted a placement. But I presume that it would have been positive. The emails I received were really positive and really, it seemed friendly anyway. So yeah, so although that's sort of a shorter experience and in terms of I didn't actually get to getting an offer as I'd already accepted my other placement, I thought it was really, I thought I'd do a video on this one as well, as due to sort of my proactive approach and the positive experience I did have with this company. So yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Please give a big thumbs up if you have and subscribe down below. We're so close to 400 subscribers, so I'd really, really appreciate it. And I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.